From the Cincinnati Gardens tonight, the Cincinnati Cyclones and the Fort Wayne Komets in International Hockey League action. Welcome back, everybody. Mike Barrick. We're between periods. The Cyclones, the Fort Wayne hockey team. With me, a gentleman in his second season as the head coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones. This past summer, he was added to the title of general manager of the Cyclones. With me is Ron Smith. And Ron, what a great season. Again, for the Cincinnati Cyclones, a terrific year last year. Tell us about the season.
Well, it's been up and down. It hasn't been quite as great as last season was. That was an all-time for Cincinnati, and hit 111 points, and we're second overall. But this year, we've played well at times. I think two things have happened. One, the league is a little better, especially our division with Orlando and Detroit being so good. And the other thing is that we've had a few injuries and things that have caused us to be not quite as strong day in, day out as we'd like to be. But I think we're on the right track now. We're getting there. We're playing better every night. We had some good road wins, and we're ready to take off, we hope.
Let's talk a little bit about this road swing. You mentioned it's 7 consecutive games away from the Cyclones' home ice of the Cincinnati Gardens, a franchise record, and you picked up a couple of wins. You gained points in 4 of 7, a long stretch for your team.
Well, it's a brutal schedule, but everybody in the league has to go through it. I laugh when I think back to the days in the National Hockey League. The guys would be beefing about 2 games in 3 nights in 2 different cities, 100 miles apart, and we went across the continent almost twice in 8 games in 12 days. But our players seem to be playing harder. Last night, I thought we played as hard as we played any night, and we were chopping and hacking pretty well, and the emotion was there, and that's great for the fans for sure, and it's great for the coaches to watch too.
Tell us about this Cyclones team, a little bit different from last year. You have 2 new goaltenders, and Joff Sargent and Todd McDonald. What are your thoughts overall about this year's edition?
Well, I think the team has obviously gone through a big change. We lost, as you said, the 2 goaltenders and half of our defense and several of our forwards. But I think as we worked along this year, we've added some people that we really like now. And as I say, we're ready to get really playing well in crucial time of the year in the playoffs.
Yeah, the trades for you, adding Craig Duncanson and Sean Evans from the Fort Wayne Komets, probably a big deal right towards the trading deadline. You've added Cam Stewart, although not in the lineup right now for the Cyclones. So some new players right towards the deadline for your hockey club.
I think experience is great in the playoffs. There's nothing like it. You can't get it by doing anything but playing for 6 or 8 or 10 years, and I think it's a real asset to have. I think if you look at most championship teams, the core of their experienced playoff team always comes forward in that tough grind and come through for you, and that's what we're hoping our guys will do.
This is a chance for the fans to see you, Ron, behind the bench. Your second year here in Cincinnati. Tell us about your time. You've spent a number of years in the National Hockey League as an assistant coach. Spent a time in the NHL behind the bench with the New York Rangers. How about your time here in Cincinnati?
Well, I like it a lot here. It's really a good place to coach. We've got a real good team, mature guys. It's really, in many ways, one of the easiest levels to coach at because you've got good experienced pros. You've got guys who are motivated to play. You don't have big money problems like sometimes happens in the NHL. And at the same time, it's very competitive, and so it's a real enjoyable place. Not to mention that Cincinnati is a pretty good city to live in year-round.
Ron, when the players are behind the bench, what do they expect from Ron Smith?
Well, they're going to expect, I guess, consistency in the effort we demand and the kind of style we play. But at the same time, I think they get enough leeway to do their own thing, and I take pride in giving the players responsibility when they're ready to take it, and actually insist on them taking a leadership role in the team. And I think that's the best way to have a winning team. And so they'll hear some noise too once in a while, but not that often.
Very quickly, Ron, for the rest of the season for you and the Cyclones Hockey Club.
Well, we're just trying to play better every day. That's our goal, is to be playing the best hockey we can when April 14th comes around, and get in the playoffs on a high and see what happens. We know it's a bit of a toss-up, but we'd like to cover all the bases and just do the best we can.
Well, Ron, congratulations on your great couple of years in Cincinnati, and continued success to you and the Cyclones the rest of the way.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mike.
Ron Smith, the head coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones. He's also the team's general manager. More Cyclones hockey against the Komets coming right up. This is Cincinnati Cyclones hockey. Just all great second period. And then
Well, 3 power play goals.
All
I
right.
think. Sure here.
Okay.
All right, great.
From the Cincinnati Gardens, the Cincinnati Cyclones have excited the fans. They have a 4-1 lead at the end of 40 minutes of play. Welcome back, everybody. Mike Barrett from the Cincinnati Gardens. The Cyclones with a terrific second period and opened up a 3-goal cushion.
I'll tell you, coming out and getting 3 power play goals, Mike, is exactly what the doctor ordered. Ron Smith, Al Hill have just got to be ecstatic. They were doing the things that they needed to do, and to get those 3 goals was a real key, no question.
Cyclones terrific on the power play, and that's where they've scored the bulk of the goals tonight. 3 of their 4 with the man advantage.
You know, one of the things that they did was they kept it very simple. I like the way they directed the shots towards the net. I thought Mazzoli played a pretty good period as far as being able to cover up rebounds, not giving anything back, and the 1 rebound gave up with 1 goal. But other than that, good puck movement by Cincinnati and taking advantage of their opportunities.
Lots of statistical information to show you here at the Gardens, and the Cyclones, of course, turning it on in the second period, particularly on the shots on goal.
Look at the shots on goal, 28-18, and again, just an excellent period of hockey. 24 saves, 17 in favor of Fort Wayne. But the key right there is 1 for 5 in the power play with Fort Wayne, and then the key 3-goal power plays in the second period for Cincinnati. Power play shots on goal, you talk about the numbers, 28 shots overall, 14 of those on the power play, and as we mentioned, oh boy, Ron Smith and Al Hill have just got to be ecstatic.
Picture perfect as they've been throwing it around like they had it on a string, and that's what the Cyclones want. Crashing the net, scoring goals, exciting the fans. They're at that long road swing with 7 consecutive games. You thought they might be a little bit tired, but no, they wanted to get home and have some home cooking.
Well, people think that this game's over with. They better just tune in for this third period, because I'll tell you right now, Torchetti's known to get his hockey team back. They did it last night in Cleveland. They played a pretty good third period, but it was too late. I think you're going to see Fort Wayne come out. They're going to be banging. They're going to be crashing, taking things to the net. So you're going to see a good 20 minutes of hockey.
Cyclones up 4-1 here in Cincinnati. We'll have more in just a bit. This is Cincinnati Cyclones hockey. All right, we'll be on camera still.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 The first 3 goals. Okay. Biggs, Stevens, and then LeBlanc.
We'll emphasize that goal gave Fort Wayne a little momentum and gets them back in the hockey game again, but then coming back and scoring again.
Just briefly touch on that since it won't be on.
Yeah.
You gotta remember.
Baby.
From the Cincinnati Gardens, the Cincinnati Cyclones a 3-goal cushion over the Fort Wayne Komets. Welcome back, everybody. Mike Barrett here, and it's a happy group of Cyclones fans as their team leading by 3 in a 4-1 lead for Cincinnati. 1 point away from clinching the playoffs for the 4th straight year. Lots of happening in period number 2.
Oh, there was a lot of things going on. Power plays galore, and great opportunity for Cincinnati to really get themselves away in this game. And like we mentioned, there's still 20 minutes of hockey left.
We'll take a look at some of the goals and scoring in this middle period. Cyclones led 1-0 after 1.
Here you see the first goal, a rebound being kicked out. Mazzoli kicks it right back out, and then Donnie Biggs steals the puck from Grant Richardson and buries it. So that right there, a power play goal. Donnie Biggs, his 1,001 career point as a professional hockey player.
12 years for him, and the Cyclones increased their lead a little bit later on also in the power play.
Well, here's Pat McLeod just getting the shot on net. Again, not much of a rebound, but they're in a position. Donnie Biggs burying it, taken away from Grant Richardson, and then burying that puck. Just another angle of that last goal that we just seen.
And the Cyclones, of course, with the advantage. And then Fort Wayne came back. LeBlanc on a nice end-to-end rush.
Well, John LeBlanc's known for his power play goals. And if you've seen at the blue line, I think a non-call that Ron Smith and the entire Cincinnati organization were a little disappointed in. They came up with a goal, but we've got a 4-1 hockey game in favor of Cincinnati. But that allows Fort Wayne to get themselves back in the game. 15:41 left. They scored, again, a power play goal. LeBlanc's 25th.
And, of course, the Argosy Casino scoring summary, and that goal made it 3-1, of course, after the Cyclones had scored 2 of the first 3. The LeBlanc goal late, and then Cincinnati increased it with a late power play goal to make it a 4-1 game. Again, Stevens for Cincinnati.
Well, Mike Stevens, again, coming up with another power play goal, a young man that's played very well. But the 2 assists with Duncanson and Evans getting the 2 assists on that goal, they're a little bit of a payback, so to speak. Those boys just being traded from Fort Wayne just a couple of weeks ago.
So that's the story. Cincinnati with a 4-1 lead, and we'll come back with more in a bit. The Cyclones and the Komets from the Cincinnati Gardens. All right. No problem. Which is the first one? Okay. Great. I've seen all these. No problem.
All set, Jess. Thanks, buddy.
David, a couple of things. Are you going to put up on the scoreboard the scores, the out-of-town scoreboard? Okay. No, we won't worry about it. David, any stats about Mike Barrick and Bill Davidge from the Cincinnati Gardens, the Cyclones with a fabulous 3-goal cushion and a 4-1 lead. The Cincinnati Gardens has been the Cyclones' home for a while, but in 1997-98, a new home for the Cyclones, and Bill Davidge, the crown, $16 million worth of renovations, a new look on the outside, and a little bit more on the inside as well. They're going to knock out the walls and have a larger concourse area, and wait till the fans see what the new seats look like inside. The Cyclones play in the Crown next season.
Well, the Queen City and the Crown go hand in hand, and Doug Kirchhoffer, again, taking a big leap here in Cincinnati, going ahead and trying to get professional hockey just even a step closer to being the pride and joy of Cincinnati, and maybe what future brings, who knows, but a facility like that, Mike, second to none. I'm really excited.
Mike Stevens looks for a hat trick. The Cyclones has a 3-point night for Mike Stevens. As mentioned, his second go-round is a Cincinnati Cyclone. Cyclones up by 3. By the way, the 3 power play goals tonight for the Cyclones. The 4th time this year they have scored at least 3 power play goals. And how about that? 28 victories when leading after 40. And immediately the play on left wing of the Komets take over. They shovel it to the Cincinnati defense, and it's kicked for Don Biggs at center ice for Stevens. He's taken down. No call as Ernst watches him passively, and Laniel comes up with a puck.
I think one thing that Joe Ernst will do, he'll allow the guys to play hockey and try to get a flow here in the third period. And what's going to happen, as I mentioned, I think the Fort Wayne's going to come out play a little bit physical, and we'll see again what happens as time goes on.
Here's Bawa now on right wing, clears to center. Cyclones jam it right back into the Fort Wayne territory. Over the far boards, Makulchek stripped. Stevens back of the goal. Trying to work against Laniel. Duncanson there also. And the Komets floated on left wing for Dan Curry. Into center. Right wing side for Bawa, the ex-Washington Capital. Into the Cincinnati zone. In tight. Just spun off at the last moment beautifully by Pat McLeod.
I think if Robin Bawa would have kept his legs going, he might have drawn a penalty, but he quit skating and allowed Cincinnati to really gain possession of the puck down the deep.
Bawa centers. On to Garvey. Jahaki hounding him, and then Garvey flings it back of the goal. Early on, third period, Cincinnati having a 3-goal cushion and looking for win number 38 overall this year. And points 84 and 85, and they chop it all the way down deep into the Comet territory. Guy Dupuis after icing is the infraction with a minute and a half gone. Guy Dupuis and his team down by 3, and they need some spark if they're going to win this hockey game.
I really do. And here's that play of Bawa. I feel if Bawa would have kept those legs moving right here, he might have drawn himself a penalty, but he plants the legs, and as he just goes around the defenseman, that second effort was non-existent, so no call being made. Robin Bawa, really a go-to guy right now. With all the trades happening in Fort Wayne, he's working very hard, but I think in that scenario, he could have drawn a penalty if he just keeps those wheels moving.
A minute and a half gone into the final frame of 4-1 Cyclones lead. And the puck off the faceoff cleared. Doug McDonald trying to jostle it free, and it skips for Fort Wayne. Broughton tries to center one, and Mike Castleman beautifully just chips it outside the zone. And Bill, when you're up by 3, you can just dump it out and waste some time when you have that 3-goal cushion.
Well, what you want to do is you want to keep it very simple. You know, you've got boards to work with, and it's just like playing with another player. Understand that those boards are your friend. Direct something off of it, and it might even come right back to you on the angles used properly. You want to keep it out of the middle of the ice.
Mike Castleman played at Clarkson University. His college team eliminated in the NCAAs, along with the local team here, Bill, Miami of Ohio, dropped their NCAA contest this past weekend.
Exactly. Last year I had a chance to work with Mike Castleman in Greensboro, North Carolina, playing for the Carolina Monarchs. And you talk about a class young man and a guy that really is the heart and soul of any team that he plays for, and a representative of Clarkson, he certainly is.
Here's a lead shot towards the defense, and Doug McDonald just gingerly taps it back for Sean Evans. Third period, Cincinnati with a solid 3-goal cushion against the Komets. And on the near side, Fort Wayne trying to work it free. Corpse now surveys the traffic, drop pass, Dupuis, a pass in front along the far board, stripped by Chris Jahaki. It's Broughton, and McDonald is center for Cincinnati. Artfully into the neutral zone, just pops it right back in. It takes a crazy out, Jahaki in after it and cleared away, but not out. Cavs have been able to pump it back to the goal, and the Cyclones continue to forecheck here. Here's Bergeron for Cavsman. Bergeron now waltzes in front. Centers in front of the goal. Hawkins couldn't get the shot off. Poked away, but Cavsman aggressive forechecking, and finally the Komets clear it to center.
One thing you have to be careful of in that offensive zone as well, Mike, is not to force the puck back towards your own end. You're going to give up a superior situation right there at almost cost Cincinnati on the turnover.
Here's Bergeron over skates, but now he swings it back of the goal. Hustling and after it is Todd Hawkins. Horacek centers, sticked away and to the blue line. Wells unable to hold it in. He chips it offside with 3:05 gone into the third. Cincinnati up by 3, and we'll be right back. This is Cyclones hockey. Cyclones hockey is brought to you by Mel's Auto Glass. This portion of Cincinnati Cyclones hockey is brought to you by Mills Auto Glass, whatever it takes. Mike Barrett and Bill Davidge, 4-1 Cyclones at the end of 40 minutes of play just early on. And there's a look at Bob Chase. 44 years as the voice of the Fort Wayne Komets on Whoa Radio.
Check that. Also, we were worried about the lighting, but Joe Kelly there in the background provided us with the lighting. We thank him for that shot as well.
Joe right behind him, and you were waiting to give him that shot there, weren't you?
I couldn't wait. As soon as they drawn to that, our production staff was worried about light, and as soon as I seen that, I said, boys, we got nothing to worry about. We got more light than enough. It's just like the sun shining.
Oh, baby. That's the end of your Cyclones broadcast career with 3:05 gone. Into the third period in a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, I got a feeling my walking papers are coming after this game tonight.
Here's Gagnon in his center ice, left wing side. Richardson smacks it right back in, and they clear it right back to center. And Stas has to retreat back. And Stas holds on the far boards. Hawkins scissors him, and then he himself gets knocked into the end boards. We'll have a stoppage of play and a penalty. Early on here in period 3, Chris Bergeron also had his helmet knocked off the noggin.
Well, good second effort down in front of the net there. Again, Cincinnati coming with both barrels trying to make something happen. But in this scenario, you can see Bergeron skating around without the helmet. Nice haircut there by Berge. Not even a sweat gathered tonight. How about that? But here it is. Look at this. Hawkins coming in. And you can see him going headfirst into the boards, but he's going to be called for the trip. He got that knee out, and Hawkins making his trip to the penalty box. Fort Wayne will be on the power play. They're still looking for their first power play goal.
Their 6th chance of the game. Hawkins gets the penalty and also fell into the inboard. So the Komets, as mentioned, with the man advantage, it's actually going to be a rare kneeing call on the playbill.
Yeah, you see Tony Horacek here right now talking a little bit to the bench. Sean Gagnon and Tony Horacek just kind of talking with each other, trying to create something. Tony Horacek being escorted to the penalty box here. And I don't see anybody going from Fort Wayne as of yet.
Perhaps a 10-minute misconduct at 3:29 into this period. And the Cyclones, here's 4-1 lead.
Here's another angle on that. Look at Hawkins come in, and he just gets the knee out and catches the lower half of that leg. I'll tell you one thing, very, very fortunate that somebody wasn't injured on that. Number one, Hawkins going in, but you hate to see anybody go knee to knee in that scenario. I think we can remember Mike Castleman, as well as Jeff Greenlaw down in Indianapolis that night, losing his knee because of a hit, much like the same similar thing.
Tony Horacek's had the share of scraps in his career. They give him a minor penalty.
You can see Ron Smith too. He's going, oh, you got to be kidding me. You really got to be kidding me. Listen, I didn't even notice you the last couple of periods because we got 3 power play goals, and Joe Ernst is becoming involved here in the 3rd.
It's a slashing penalty and a 2-man advantage. Dave Marcinishin picks up a 10.
Swampy on his way. Joe Ernst wants to be a factor in this hockey game. In 10 minutes, he's going to the box, and with 16:31, we won't see him until the 6:31 mark. And that hurts. Defensively, Dave Marcinishin is real key in this team.
And the faceoff will be just outside the blue line. A 2-man advantage. We've seen one already. The Cyclones killed it off. Bill here in Cincinnati.
I'll tell you, it really, really surprises me, you know, that calls are made like that. What you've got to do is give a couple of warnings, and there hasn't been anything in the game tonight that warranted, but that'd be the scenario.
And immediately the Cyclones gain possession. They flick it free all the way down into the Fort Wayne zone, and the Komets come up with a puck into the neutral zone. 4-1 Cyclones, and here's a play across the line. Broughton to the far wing for Fort Wayne. Biggs up front, Danino and Castleman. Here's Broughton to the left point. Mikulchuk for Broughton. They play catch. Near side pass. Mikulchuk centers. Broughton shoots. Sargent a save, and he falls on top. Off pad save, and no rebound into the Cincinnati zone.
A big save right there, and I think one of the keys, and you see John LeBlanc shaking his head down there. He's on the back door, and when you're on that 5-on-3 play, good puck movement down around, and you see right now Mikulchuk down across, and you'll see it cut right back across the ice again, over to the backside, and then LeBlanc is wide open in the backside. You can just see him off your screen. A little disappointed that he didn't get the puck on that.
46-28 in total penalty minutes, but power plays even at 6 apiece. This is a 2-man advantage for Fort Wayne.
Yeah, that goal on LeBlanc's, I think I mentioned that this would be their first power. They did score a power play goal. That was on the rush, a real rarity that you'd see on a power play. LeBlanc coming off a left-handed shot off on his right side and a low stick goal past Sargent. We got a 4-1 hockey game, 5-on-3 for another minute and 25 seconds.
Interesting Cyclone, just one defenseman. Here's LeBlanc, save Sargent on a close-in little snapper, then cleared by Stumpkinson outside the line. Cyclones able to clear deep into the Fort Wayne territory.
How about those shoulders squared up? First rebound, second rebound. Sargent does a great job.
Here's Lee Davidson. He's the father won a Turner Cup in the league. Finds the center one. LeBlanc shoots, blocked off of the defense. LeBlanc centers, near side pass Davidson. Oh, and Sargent falls on top and holds on.
How about that? Is that any good, Michael, or what? What a big save. John Sargent doing what he does best, comes out and challenge, and the rebound in a position for him to pick it up.
There were fans back behind him bowing as Sargent was able to fall on top, and the Cyclones are able to hold at a 3-goal cushion at 4-1. Jeff Sargent looks for his 28th win of the season.
Take a look at this right now as they get down below the goal line. Jeff Sargent comes out, squares up, down on the knees. There's one shot. Now watch the puck get right back out high again. The shot being taken, Sarge, one save, two saves. He's down on top of it. Just playing a great game here tonight.
Hope you enjoy the action. A little bit later on Sports Channel, they'll have another IHL game with Phoenix and Houston. And the puck taken by Davidson, back of his goal. 48 seconds left in the two-man power play for the Komets. On right wing, a pass free for LeBlanc. Surveys the traffic on this 5-on-3. Davidson shoots, and that goes over top of the goal. LeBlanc now chips it right point for Davidson. Big jump front for the Cyclones to kill it off. A shot. Sargent falls on top with a shot by Davidson. There were Fort Wayne players stationed in front, and Sargent says no.
Well, the Cincinnati fans wearing the skin off their hands for a job that Josh Sargent is just pulling out of his wazoo here tonight. Couple of big saves, out challenging the shooter.
What's
right
wazoo?
Here? Right, just watch here, and you'll see a wazoo. Right there's a wazoo. How do you like it so far, huh?
Love it.
That's a wazoo.
I love it.
What a great save. That's as good as it gets.
And again, Davidson set up at the right point.
Hey, you give him those shots.
He was able to fall on top.
That's a wazoo. You give him all those shots you want, and a big save. What a great save that is. Super.
Thought that was one of our radio stations as they cleared free on the left wing side. Cyclones with a 4-1 lead over the Fort Wayne Komets. They cleared free on the opposite side. Here's a pass for Kulchik to Lee Davidson. Left wing side, they're saved by Sargent on the drive from Kulchik and cleared by Biggs outside the blue line. Just 5 seconds left with a two-man power play. And listen to the fans here in Cincinnati. They're giving their team a standing O.
Well, Leon, I'll tell you, that's a great job down there. Miles O'Connor with a double hit. A double hit gets it down the ice, and they kill it off. 14-18 left in a 4-1 game.
2 penalty kills out of a 5-on-3 here tonight, and they knock it down offside. They scored their power play goal on a one-man advantage, and the fans were on their feet. Jeff Sargent says no. He's faced 25 shots tonight, 24 of 25 shots on goal. He has stopped.
I'll tell you, John Sargent comes up big when he has to come up big. It's been a great year for John. The young man from the Toronto area, played his junior hockey, went to Michigan Tech and Peoria. He's been all over. A guy that really I don't think has been given enough credit for some of the teams that he's played for and the successes that he's had. Right now he's doing it well.
Briefly in the NHL with the St. Louis Blues and the San Jose Sharks. When Mike Keenan came in St. Louis,
Story behind that,
he sent him down to Peoria, and that was it for him really in the NHL, except for a short stint in San Jose. Here's the play out across the line. Bizzo being squeezed by Evans. Evans throws him down right in front of Ernst. That could have been a penalty probably. But after 2 in a row and a two-man power play, Ernst lets it go, and McDonald yanks it for Gausman. At center ice for Sean Evans now. Dances into the neutrals on a loser check from Gagnon. There'll be a penalty. Oh, the Fort Wayne player is actually the Cyclone players bench. Not a good place to be. How about that with a major fracas right in the Cyclones players bench. It all started when Evans was taken out of the play on a real big hit right in front of the Cyclone players bench.
I'll tell you, we're get a chance to see the replay on that. We'll find one of the players that ends up right in the bench itself.
I think it was Gagnon. It was either Gagnon or
or Bizzo. I believe Gagnon was the player that ended up doing a somersault in the Cyclones players bench, and I can bet he was kicked or hit when you're in there as well.
I'll tell you, he's a mean man, and he's got a great temperament for the game of hockey. He just has to control it. Sean Evans, again, not long ago did he play for the Fort Wayne Komets. A real good competitor, and here he's down on the ice.
They'll show the reverse play here as the Cyclones. Evans was on the left wing side, and here it comes. Gagnon came right in, and then watch him. It was Bizzo that fell in there.
Yeah, Bizzo ended up right in on the bench itself, and that's when all things happen. Bizzo's feet up over top of the boards. Sean Evans down on the ice still. And right now he's being helped off to the locker room, and we're looking at lower extremities. Hopefully it's not too bad of a knee. And we'll get to you as soon as we can. As soon as we hear from Nick Kenny exactly what's happened, but Sean Evans limping out to the Cyclone dressing room.
There'll be a penalty. A charging penalty against Bizzo. Gagnon came in too, and it's a major penalty here in Cincinnati. Brian Smith likes the major penalty, but can't like this situation with Sean Evans.
No, not at all. One thing you don't want to lose. Right now, you're vying for that playoff spot. Looks like we should get that here today, but you want to have a healthy crew. And to lose a guy like Sean Evans, a quarterback to your power play, Andy Bizzo being assessed a 5-minute major, again, deliberate intent to injure, I think that'd be the case scenario right there. And Torchetti, he wants to find out a little bit more what's going on out here and letting his troops know something's going to happen.
They gave him a charging penalty. That was the reason for the 5-minute penalty. Gagnon came in also, and then Bizzo obviously did the somersault into the bench. Nearly 2,000 minutes in penalties and only 4 years pro for Bizzo. Jeff Sargent excited about the power play. Robin Bawa doesn't like evidently the call, and I'm surprised about that.
Well, I'm surprised as well. You know, there's no, go and make your case and then get away from it, and let's get this game back going again. Go ahead.
I'm wondering if Gagnon should get the penalty, because he actually took the first hit on Evans, and then Bizzo came in also.
But I thought, again, from my standpoint, Gagnon went in to give him a pretty good check, and then it's Bizzo coming in after the fact. And I think that was the thing, was the intent, the charge, where the legs kept going.
We're going to take a look at it one more time, both Gagnon and Bizzo, as Evans took it to the blue line.
Yeah, here he's got full control of the puck. He's looking up ice, and here comes Gagnon. Nice, good check, good shoulder check, and good. It's a good knee.
Okay.
I mean, it's low, but that's what hurt him. And then all of a sudden, here he comes with the legs moving, and bang on.
So Gagnon first, Bizzo second, but Bizzo's the major penalty, and the Cyclones have another power play and can really put this game out of reach. There's 7 chances, they're 3 for 6 so far, a whopping 14 shots and 3 goals. Here's Biggs gliding down, back to the near side for Stevens. Up point McLeod, checked off and cleared by Fort Wayne, all the way to center.
Well, Fort Wayne's going to have to take some chances on this. Again, shorthanded goal for Fort Wayne is going to have to try. They've got 9 on the year right now, and they're going to have to try to get another one to get back in this hockey game. If they've got a 5-minute penalty kill, they're going to have to try and do it.
And immediately Wells comes up to the puck for Cincinnati. Wells and McLeod are the point men. Here come the Cyclones. McLeod able to send a feathered pass for McDonald. In against the defense. Gagnon stays with him. Right point for Wells. Middle of the blue line, McLeod. Give and go Wells, right point. Shovels it for McDonald. You can score at will on a 5-minute power play. McLeod shot blocked for the defense and cleared. But no. Biggs down. Wells closing in. His shot in front of the goal. Stevens drops it off. Cincinnati, great puck possession. McLeod, his shot deflects wide. McDonald now behind the net as the Cyclones with another 3:40 to work on this 5-minute power play. Here's Wells, a shot in front, saved by Mazzoli as Stevens let it fly, and pushing and shoving in front of the goal as well.
Well, good job down in front of the net. Donnie Biggs in a position right there to pick up a rebound, and I think boys took exception right there. Biggsy knocked the stick out of Grant Richardson's hand, and the boys let him know that you're a little bit too close and too many things are happening down there. So here they are, Mike, working around the perimeter real well. Again, time is in Cincinnati's favor right now with a 4-1 lead. They've got a power play right now for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. They're working the puck around, getting shots on goal, nothing forced back towards their own zone.
And another look on that. How about the shot, which Mazzoli makes the save, and then Gagnon held up McDonald before Mazzoli could alleviate a rebound right there. He doesn't have much help in front now. 32-25 shots on goal, Cincinnati.
And again, that statistic very deceptive because Cincinnati's shots on goal, most of them have come by way of the power play. Half of those shots by way of the power play here tonight. And they've taken advantage with 3 power play goals.
Duncanson leaves it for Danino. Horacek and Chahaki, the other forwards. They don't often get power play time. O'Connor to Danino at the right point. Hands it to O'Connor, left wing side. Near wing, Chahaki. Center is blocked off by Bawad, cleared outside the blue line. A new power play combination. You don't often see Chahaki, Horacek, and you do quite often see Duncanson.
Yeah, again, right now what you do is you go with your regular lineup. You hope you can maybe squeak one out, get a goal on this, but as you mentioned, you've got the entire time. 3 minutes left right now. You've got the entire time. You can put as many goals in the net as you wish.
Duncanson now holds on for Cincinnati with 11.5 minutes left for Horacek. Shoots over top of the goal. O'Connor left point, holds on for Danino at the right side. Flipper through traffic and wide. Centering pass, Horacek to Chahaki. Centers, near side pass, left wing by O'Connor. Man advantage Cincinnati for another 2.5 minutes. Danino's pass broken up in the defense, but Chahaki takes over. Drops it into the corner center. Horacek shoots, save, rebound. Chahaki shot it off the side of the net with a couple of Fort Wayne players down. Chris Chahaki just missed. Pat Mazzoli's had it up for the Cincinnati hockey team.
A little give and go down there out of the corner. Horacek and Duncanson and Chahaki on the back door. And here's a little look at that. A little simple give and go. All right, gets himself into position. There it is, a shot on net. The rebound comes back out. The Hawk figures he's got it, but again, hits the side of the net. And you can see Mazzoli coming up with a rebound. There's another angle of it, Mike.
Chahaki, the Detroit, Michigan native, just missed as he went to the far right wing side, and a glorious scoring chance for the former Detroit Red Wing. And Pat Mazzoli's squad down by 3, having to face another 2 minutes and 23 seconds of power play time. Here's McLeod, right wing side for Wells, a flipper. And Mazzoli leaves it for his own defense and cleared down the ice by the Komets.
You can see out here now, you got Bergeron back out, you got Hawkins on the right side, you got Castman on the left side, and Ron Smith not just going with a power play set, he's going with some lines and some different people just to see what they can do.
Here's Bergeron back of the goal for Cincinnati. Holds onto the puck, left wing for McLeod. A wrist shot, oh, he just misses by a whisker. And Cincinnati's Castman centers, intercepted and flipped down the ice by the Komets.
You know, one of the simplest things is to do is, again, just get the puck back out high again, put 2 people down in front of the net, and blast the puck. Make it as simple as you can. You want to, again, rag some time off the clock, but you also want to have some opportunities to score some goals and not lose momentum.
Here's Gagnon back advertising. Is the call against Cincinnati with 10:04 left in this hockey game, and a 3-goal cushion at 4-1. I guess the coaching staff of Ron Smith and Al Hell can rest a little bit easier. And there's the first man that they don't like, Sean Gagnon.
Well, again, I don't think that coaching staff is resting at all. Again, we've been in hockey games, seen many hockey games, 4-1, and I've seen those things turn around in a 5-minute span where it's the other way around real quick.
I said a little bit easier, not a lot. You're right. I know how the coaches are. And they store it all inside. They look calm, cool, and collected. But as you mentioned, with a 3-goal lead, anything's possible.
Well, the last horn is really what sets a coach off from relaxing, and that's really the attitude that you have to take in this game. Is really anything to have.
Here's Eric Danino, who hails from the Montreal area on left wing for O'Connor. Headman to the defense for Stevens, and he was trapped in offside with a minute 20 left in the 5-minute major penalty and 9:54 left in the game. The Cyclones in this final game of a long stretch, 4 games in 5 nights. They had 7 in a row on the road, and Mike Stevens still seems as feisty now as he did earlier in the trip. And an upcoming schedule for the Cyclones is Friday night at the Gardens. Cincinnati against the Michigan K-Wings, and they're on the road again, Bill. So Friday night right here against the Dallas Stars top affiliate.
You got it. Friday night, then Saturday night at Indy, and then Fort Wayne on Sunday night on the road again, as you mentioned.
And immediately it's cleared right back in to the Fort Wayne territory. And after Mike Stevens tries to dump it in front. Biggs now to O'Connor. Biggs holding on. Another minute to go on this long power play. Biggs top of the circle. Near side O'Connor. Shoots it just wide. Biggs controls. Biggs scoring once this evening for Cincinnati. Drops it off O'Connor. A little flipper. Mazzoli a save. Centering. in front, but Corpse able to break it up and spins it off the side glass and all the way down.
Now, Miles O'Connor, you don't see him very often on the power play, although I had a talk with him. I remembered him in college at Michigan, him quarterback in the power play, and having Jeff Norton on the other side. I'll tell you, that was a pretty good duo, and those guys had a great success rate when they were in Michigan and quarterbacking that PP.
Miles O'Connor now quarterbacks a very hefty physical aspect of the game for the Cincinnati Cyclones and dropping the gloves. Here's McDonald, shoots it on. Shoulder save made by Mazzoli. Here's Katzman trying to center one, but Paul Broughton parades the slot with 7 seconds to go on the penalty. Just smacks it into the Cincinnati zone.
Going back to that Miles O'Connor, you know, that's what so many players have to do to continue to play. If they're going to move from college to pros, sometimes their role begins to change, and it also changes as teams move on as well.
Here's a chance for Cincinnati. They try and flip it in front, and falling on top is Mazzoli. It's a 4-1 Cyclones lead. We'll be back in a minute. This is Cincinnati Cyclones hockey. What's happening? I guess, what do? You don't even... That's true. You're still in it, though. You're still in it. Cyclones up 4-1, and how about Dad giving the youngster a Cyclones pop? Isn't that nice?
He's a happy camper, that guy. Look at that. Look at that smile. Knows he's on camera, a little bit shy. He's got his biscuit to take home, put it on the dresser, and thank Dad about 15 years from now for bringing him to a Cyclone hockey game.
You called it a biscuit. I hope he doesn't try and eat it. As well, shot blocked off the fence and cleared right back down. And they call a puck a biscuit in the hockey terms. And you're the old coach, so you know all about these little hockey terms for over the years. And it's, I guess it's offense and not offense, right, for a guy like Jeff Wells?
Depends on what part of the country you're from. Offense, you get biscuits, you get baskets, you name it. That old coach, though, I didn't like that line.
Coach. Oh, well, that's true.
Huh?
Okay. Former coach. Former coach. You're a young guy. Young guy.
We can get going here if you want. We're on national TV here, and I don't want to start.
Here's a play for the defense. The Komets come up with a puck into the center ice area and lead it 3 on left wing. A lead pass for Guy Dupree. In tight, tries to flip it in front. Sargent gets a piece. And Bergeron on right wing. Under 8 minutes to go in the game. Horacek tripped up. No call.
No snake. It was a great big block when tackled him at the red line. I seen him.
And the Komets take over. George may have seen it, but he let it go, eh? And Hawkins plays in the far side with 7:40 to go. Period 9 in the last 3 nights for Cincinnati. Same for the Komets. And up the center ice it goes. Hawkins swivels it across the line and just pokes it down as the Cyclones on a line change. Hicks, Duncanson, and Stevens, the troika coming out for Cincinnati.
Well, smart play there by Hawk. You know, you dingle and you dangle. You don't want to do too much, but he gets it deep.
There's another dingle-dangle as the coach's term. Here's play at the point. Oh, and it's shot off the side of the goal. And now Sergei stopped, and Mike Stevens has some words. And how about Amy Bizzo again right in front, causing havoc into the Cyclones territory.
The thing that Cincinnati wants to do right now is just stay out of all this stuff. You know, there's nothing to do, and we'll see what happens.
It's a 4-1 Cincinnati lead here in Cincinnati, and we'll be right back. Cyclones hockey, more in a moment. David Ashbrock, 6,991. I don't know. We'll just announce it, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know when I said, oh, you know, I didn't mean
I know. But I got to give you a hard time.
I did. You did. Actually, that was like a compliment. I just meant from the coach's thing.
All right.
The score, a 3-goal deficit, 4-1 Cincinnati, and a couple of trips from one side of the ice to the other.
Yeah, there's a little snow snake there. You couldn't see him. He just kind of grabbed a hold of Horacek's ankle. Yeah, they're blind. You don't see him until later in the game. And there's Bezo
the
coming in.
buzzsaw.
So watch this. Hello. Hello, Honolulu. And watch him get right back up, just like a little rubber ball. He's always out there. He's always involved.
Here's play now into the center ice area with 7 minutes to go in the game. Bezo on left wing just flips it to the Cyclones defense. And here comes Stevens, able to zigzag to center. In across the line, drop pass Biggs, a fling pass for Duncanson, great drop pass, left point, O'Connor, and he just with 6:48 left in the game, just gingerly pounds it into the far corner. The Komets break out the other way.
What I like is all those passes were made directly towards him.
Here's Stevens steals, in our goal, shoots, Mazzoli says no. Rob Stevens going for the hat trick here in Cincinnati.
Well, Stevens again coming up with a puck and then showing that little burst of speed. We talked about that piano being on the back early. Well, he released that piano. Look at these legs moving. He starts grinding. He's got people on his back. He takes a couple of strides and a backhand, a nice quick backhand shot high, and Mazzoli comes up with a big save. And again, that's a real key save here as well. 6:35 left. You hate to say it's over, but there's Mike Stevens. 21 points in the last 19 games. 2 goals and 1 assist tonight. Last night in Indianapolis, he had a great game as well. Could have been star of the game, but Donnie Biggs had his 1,000th career pro point.
Earlier we talked about Scott Thomas out. Sean Evans, by the way, a deep thigh bruise to his right leg. He'll be missing from acting for the rest of this game. So, fortunately for Cincinnati's case, they have a 3-goal cushion. And without Thomas and, of course, Evans probably for the rest of this game. Here's a chance now. Back of the goal for Corpse. Trying to dump it in front and clear it away into the top of the circle with 6:10 left in the game. And Castleman whirls around. And Castleman now breaks to center. Into the Fort Wayne zone, trying to stick past the defense. Holds on, rolling around. Centers in front of the cloud, shot wide. And then Mazzoli able to pounce on top and holds on as the Cyclones in tight into the Fort Wayne end. We want to wish a happy birthday to 10-year-old Ashley Pearson, the daughter of Dave Pearson, who works up in our press box area. We have a number of people, David Ashbrock and Jesse Jackson and John Filer, all up here in our production crew this evening. We want to thank all of them for their great job. The Cyclones have a 3-goal lead. The Cyclones have done a great job tonight.
Well, they have. Cincinnati's done a super job, and going back to the production crew, they do an excellent job as well. The time and efforts go in there. We even had Jesse Jackson doing a little bit more work on Mike Barrett's hair tonight. We're going to get him another job in the offseason. He did a great job on Michael.
Whatever I have left, I have more than Jim Kelly, but less than you. As they clear it to center and deep into the zone where the Cyclones, Marcinician has to go back. When you got it, you love it, and you got it.
Well, 5:40 left. We got to get in as many of these as we can, Mike.
And Wells trying to pop it free, and the puck bouncing around into the neutral zone with 5.5 minutes left. Glad you joined us tonight, Cincinnati, looking to clinch a playoff spot. Here's Horacek bursting free and chipped away. Hawkins flags it down, spins it now to the top of the circle, and Corpse able to bang it right back free into the far corner, and Wells behind that Bergeron. Bergeron centers it front. Oh, and Mazzoli the save on big Horacek, and he was just chugging for the net.
That's one thing. That's one thing that size always dictates, is basically gaining space. And right there, big save.
It's 4-1 Cincinnati late in this game, and we'll be right back. This is Cyclones hockey. We got in the birthday.
Hard shot of the game.
What about one of the goals? Stevens, didn't he have a blast on one of them? Wasn't one of the goals a blast?
Not really. Back door.
That's it right there.
I'd say maybe that power play goal of Stevens, the last one that they got.
Yeah. Did you have the last one? Did you end up having it? I know you didn't use it during the intermission. 4-1 Cincinnati. Tired yet happy Cyclones team. They're doing the chicken dance in the stands. And Christian Hockey gets the towel here in the last 5 minutes of this game. And Bill, the Cyclones having a great performance. No scoring in this final stanza.
Oh, I really do. They don't get a chance to be on Sports Channel that often. They're taking advantage of it tonight. This game being broadcast all across not only Sports Channel Ohio, but everywhere around. People all around getting a chance to see this game.
And immediately cleared right back into the corner. And the Cyclones, and Andrew Biggs trying to chip it free. Into the near side for Stevens. Stevens waltzes back of the goal. He still wants that hat trick. Here's Biggs now for Cincinnati to Duncanson. Biggs now dumps it in front. Stevens to Danino. His shot deflects awry. Man, there's a battle going in front as Duncanson takes a shot. Richardson then gives Stevens a little bump in front. He wants the penalty. You tell me he doesn't want that 3-goal game here tonight?
He's working real hard. Grant Richardson, again, just doing his job down in front of the net. Grant Richardson giving Michael Stevens just an opportunity to know that there's still a hockey game going on. You're not going to get that 3rd goal easily. And Grant, being the professional that he is, a little tap on the pads to say, hey, listen, I'm just doing my job out here.
Grant Richardson, who tapped the Cyclone Stevens, coming back from a major motorcycle accident, coming back this season, missed most of last year. On the bench right now, but Bill, quite a story in professional hockey for Grant Richardson. Broken bones all over the place.
Yeah, I had a chance to listen to an interview. Grant Richardson was on 1190 WOWO radio up there when I was driving up one night, and he talked about how he sat in the bed and just prayed that he'd be able to just walk again. And here he is tonight. He's playing hockey. What a great tribute to a young man like that.
Here's a play on left wing. Bawa in trying a shot. Wide of the target. Right point, McCrouchen. Stick to side by Sargent. And Corpse a drive. That's off the sideboards and off the side of the goal, in fact. And Wells pants it down for Cincinnati. Up ahead for Doug McDonald. Leads a 3-man rush and across the line. Left wing Castleman behind him. And the puck skitters away. You can hear the oohs and ahs from the fans on that bat that just failed to click. Now Chahaki, a backhander in front. And Katzman couldn't get his stick on it, and the Komets clear it to center.
You can see Mike Katzman just continually working, trying to get himself an opportunity to put the puck in the net. Just off the heel, almost got it up, but just short of goal. 4-1 right now. Cincinnati only 3:45 left, Michael.
Just under 7,000 here tonight. 6,991 the attendance. 6,991 as the Komets flick it for LeBlanc in the center. And LeBlanc rolls around into the neutral zone and just dumps it right back in.
Well, right now, not a whole lot of offense being created by Fort Wayne. They are really depleted with not only a couple of injuries, Rojak's out of the lineup, just not getting things going out here tonight.
Here's McLeod able to loop it free. Bumped at the defense, and it is McLeod's slap shot caught by Mazzoli. And then McLeod says hello to Leon Garvey in front of the Fort Wayne players bench. Hawkins and Garvey say hello. And this thing's not over yet. Even though Cincinnati with a comfortable 3-goal lead, the guys want to drop the gloves a little bit here late in this game.
Well, it's something to Cincinnati. Else you need to just walk away. You don't want to get yourself hurt right now. You're just coming off of a long road trip. You're back home. You're winning a hockey game.
Well, that's where they want to, right?
Save it.
They got a good crowd tonight. They said, we're not playing till next Friday.
Yeah.
Why not throw a couple of punches, right?
Well, there's no sense.
I agree, but they might be thinking, hey, why not? Leon Garvey will go off for Fort Wayne, and 3:12 left in this hockey game. I think another factor here tonight, Bill, is the Cyclones are discussing things with the linesmen, is the injury situation with Evans and Thomas out. I think they want the Komets to remember those guys out of the lineup here this evening as Hawkins and Garvey collide into the... Ooh, there's the hit from Garvey.
Yeah, well, you see a real high stick right there, and again, what you don't want to have happen, and I guess from the coach's standpoint, Michael, is, you know, you get into something like this and say there is a fight. I've seen guys fight and end up breaking their legs, and they're out for the rest of the year, and in a game like this, it's a non-factor. There are times to do it. This is not the time, and I think both coaches would tend to agree it's very difficult to have two guys square up for the sake of just fighting with 3:12 left in a 4-1 hockey game.
4 each for roughing. Garvey and Hawkins, they'll be out for the rest of this game, and I think Hawkins also has come into the rescue of Pat McLeod. 4-1 Cincinnati with 3:12 left.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Just come in, get the job done, and go from there. But 3:12 left. Cincinnati dominating this game. 3 power play goals is the real key and the big difference of this game. Cincinnati getting a lot of shots in their PP tonight.
Here's a play for Biggs, trying to dump it in front. Duncanson shot going wide. Big centers. Duncanson. A flipper over top of the goal. Higgs for the near side. Backhands in front. Duncanson in on net. Shoots it just wide. Man alive, they're missing just by inches. And it's taken by Stevens. Give and go Duncanson. Centers Biggs now. Holding on a flipper. Blocked by the defense. And the Komets unable to control. Stevens tries to dump it in front and stops. Controls for the Komets and floats it to the blue line. Dandino kicks it in. Dandino now in on net. Shoots Mazzoli. Snaps it away with his glove and flips it for Gagnon. He wants this game to get over with.
I think there's a lot of people that want this game to be over with. The 7,000 fans that are here tonight, they're on their way out of here as well, knowing that Cincinnati has dominated the Fort Wayne Komets and are going to walk away with the victory.
Here's Stevens down, trying to center one. Floated away, but Biggs control. Cyclones want to set up Stevens for this hat-trick. However, Stevens sets up Duncanson and Bezo on left wing with a total of 2 minutes left of the game. And Sargent himself backhands on edge.
See, right there, there's no need for that at all, where Gagnon comes in and shouldn't even have a stick close to Sargent. And if anything would have happened, I'll guarantee you, somebody would have went after Gagnon if there had been any contact at all. And you can hear the crowd right there. Sargent steals the stick away from Gagnon. Gagnon just continues on to the bench.
Says, I got your piece of lumber, you can't have it back.
Exactly right.
And the fans enjoying things. As mentioned, nearly 7,000. Be a few games left, 3 in the rest of the season. And there you hear there's the takeaway.
That's right.
Sargent says, don't bump me, I'll take your stick.
I take my hat off to Sean, too. He did let go of the stick because that could have been a real roar. If he'd have hung on it and pulled Sarge around the ice a little bit, boy, I hate to see what happened.
A sleigh ride here in Cincinnati.
Look at the 2 coaches down there in their apparel. A couple of smiles
smiling now, right?
Oh yeah, look, there's a Coach Smith, a little grin on his face. He's pretty ecstatic, and old Hiller there, he's back there, happy as well. He's quarterback in the defense here today and doing a super job.
1:48 left in the game. Cincinnati looking to clinch a playoff spot and pick up their 38th win of the season, 20th at home. And here's Doug McDonald out of his own end, glides to center, looks it for Castleman, broken up with the defense. Oh, Castleman can't get the shot off, and Lee Davidson able to float it free from Fort Wayne. 1:27 left in the game, and they put it right back in.
I'll tell you, if young guys have been watching this hockey game, number 17 shows you part of the game that every kid should learn to play, and it's both ends of the game.
Here's Davidson. Oh, and Job Sargent says, no way you're going to nail one by me. And he holds on with a total of 1:15 left in this contest. Save number 26 for Job Sargent.
Yeah, 26 saves tonight, and again, his key, not giving up that rebound, especially when there's people on the doorstep.
Cyclones holding down Fort Wayne on the shots this evening. Quite often he's faced 30 or more shots, 36 times in 51 games, but tonight the Cyclones defense has helped him, but as you touched on, no rebounds either.
And that's when Job's playing his best. I'll tell you, any game that you see him in, if he gives up a rebound, it either must have been a real good shot or one that he just couldn't control. But tonight, he's dominated the game. He's hung on to everything that he's had.
1:15 left. Face off deep into the Cincinnati zone. A little floater towards the goal, and O'Connor able to pat it down. Swings it on his backhand on the right wing side for Stevens. Pops it for O'Connor near left wing corner for Pat McLeod. The Cyclones clear it down the ice on goal. It skitters right on net with under a minute to go in the game.
And I think Ron Smith is smart too. Take a look at who we got on the ice.
Here's Stevens now. Centers in front. Bergeron dumps it in front wide. Stevens is still out. He wants that hat trick. They'll try and set him up with Horacek and Bergeron. Stevens now in tight, in on goal. Shoots. Blocked by the defense. And it's finally cleared to center. Does he want 3 or what? He wants the puck.
There's only so much that the human body can do out here tonight, and Michael's giving it his all, and Ron Smith's giving him the opportunity to do it.
28 seconds left, and Mazzoli able to fall on top. Finally, he skates to the players' bench. Pat Mazzoli's yielded 4 tonight. 2 of those to Mike Stevens, and the Cyclones going to steal a win here and move into the postseason once again.
Well, 4th consecutive year in the Cincinnati Cyclones. If you think about minor league hockey, said it before, there's the architect behind it all. A lot of moves throughout the course of January, February, and here again in March. And Ron Smith has to be happy with what he's starting to see in this hockey team. A road trip, maybe not where he'd like to be, but those 2 wins in Orlando really a key. Last night, a close loss in Indianapolis. Tonight, a dominating win here in the Cincinnati Gardens.
Mike Stevens stays out there with Biggs and Duncanson. The Davidge just going to finish this out and see if he can nail it home with 23 seconds left of the Komets gain possession. And up the center it goes with 18 seconds left. A pass to the near wing. Chance for Stoss. Flips it towards the goal. Jeff Wells taps it away. Peaks on left wing. 10 seconds left. Stoss right point. His shot blocked off. 6 seconds left. 4 now. Stevens to center. 3, 2, 1. His shot wide. The game is over. The Cyclones have clinched a playoff spot. A very solid 4-1 win.
Well, it really was, and it was a team effort all the way around, with the special teams being the difference in this hockey game. Ron Smith on his way to the locker room. There's the team congratulating Josh Sargent, Chris Chahaki, the role player, Mike Stevens, 2 goals and an assist in this hockey game tonight. Be it congratulated to Miles O'Connor. Miles, again, another steady performance for him tonight. But the Cincinnati Cyclones, welcome back to the Gardens. We had a 4-1 victory, and boy, I'll tell you, the Cincinnati fans were ecstatic.
So that's the story here, a 4-1 Cincinnati win. Hope you enjoyed it. The Cyclones win it here tonight, 4-1. Are we going to be on camera or just on?
What is a hard shot of the game? That power play?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. Beautiful. What's that?
We are going to do it.
Move up closer. Move up, Bill. Welcome back, everybody, to the Cincinnati Gardens. The Cyclones with a solid 4-1 victory here tonight over the Fort Wayne Komets. They've clinched a playoff spot here with a solid 3-goal deficit 4-1 win here tonight.
I'll tell you, a good hockey game, Michael. You know, to come back after that road trip and to come into this game tonight, you got 7,000 fans that come in cheering, and the power play was clicking. They took advantage. They got shots on goal. Mike Stevens, again, just working real hard, paying dividends for the trade they made early in the season, and you can see now it's playoff hockey, Cincinnati Cyclone style.
Cyclones win it tonight 4-1, and our Mills Autoglass hard shot of the game comes up right here. Mike Stevens is the man that scored a couple tonight and had the big hard shot of the night.
Well, that pass by Bergeron gets Stevens into the opening, and watch this move to the back end and upstairs, and you said where the peanut butter goes. I mentioned popcorn because I had popcorn all over my back here a minute ago, but what a beautiful goal. The water bottle moves. Mike Stevens, 2 goals, 1 assist, and I'll tell you right now, that guy's got to keep it going when we've got playoff hunt.
That would break a pane of glass. Instead, it went underneath and knocked off the water bottle. The Cyclones win it 4-1. I hope you enjoyed it this evening. Cyclones with a solid victory. They're in the playoffs. The final tonight, 4-1 from the Gardens. Hope you enjoyed it this evening. Cyclones win it tonight. Cincinnati Cyclones hockey is brought to you in part by Ameritech, Cincinnati's best cellular and paging team. Office Depot, taking care of business for companies of every size, everywhere, and every day. Ohio Casualty, the Ohio Casualty Group, where extra effort is our policy. Argosy Casino, it's fun, it's easy, it's Argosy. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change, you can depend on us.